Right, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of the day you're watching and listening to this. Welcome to Tacho Break Podcast. I am Dave, and this is
Mark. How you all doing?
cool. And just to give you a little bit of intro about what we want to do. We wanted to commit more of a sort of radio show type thing. We don't want you just being bored listening to us private on about rubbish. All right. So we want you to get live streaming. From shows in the future can be live streamed, so you can actually put your comments in, and you can add comments at another time. We will pick them up. We're looking at trying to involve current subjects, so we're going to give our opinion, which might be good, might be rubbish. That's up to you to decide. Yeah, I'm talking for myself, Mark. No words, Mark's a techno guy. Mark's the one who set all this up. I'm the one who just talks rubbish. Basically,
yeah. So I'm the one to blame when the stream fails.
So yeah, you heard it here. All right, we should all make a mental note of that. So anyway, so we give subjects, topics up for you to discuss, and if you've got any ideas about what you want to discuss or things that really make you happy about the job, things that don't make you happy, which I'm sure the latter one will have to be more popular, let us know. Let us know, come in and bring up such up. If there's a lot of people want to talk about, we can talk about it. That's the idea of this podcast. Let's all have a chat. Let's all get together. Okay, so that's basically what I'm going to sort of say, and I think it's a good time for Mark now to go to introduce himself, tell him a bit about the experiences, why he's here, and anything else really. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Dave. So I'm Mark. I've been driving HGVs for 7 years now. I started off many years ago driving catalogue vans. Oh man, we'll get to that, Dave. We'll get to that. So I started off driving catalogue vans. It was a little Sherpa van with the slidey door, that you could open. I thought I was proper man about town with my door open, chipping about, mate, dropping off all those parcels. I then worked for a lighting company where I was just doing deliveries for them. That occasionally had 7.5 ton work, and I really enjoyed driving their lorries. Then, as Dave just showed you, I drove buses for 13 years in and around South London. And I finally had enough of that and got my Class 2 in 2016, and then my Class 1 about 6 months later in the summer of 2016. Class 2 was no problem passing. Obviously, having driven double-decker buses, it was the same sort of size as far as manoeuvring around and stuff goes. The Class 1 was more troubling. I actually passed in a manual, even though I've never driven a manual since. Every single HGV unit I've been in has been auto since I passed. But it was a 6/6. I mean, like, I imagine Dave has been driving since pre-selector boxes and crash gearboxes and all that kind of thing. But yeah, it was I think it was a 6/0. It was I think it was a 6/6. Gearbox. I passed in it. It was
you used to get 8. It's either 8 or 12.
I think it was 12. Yeah, it was. It was an MAN. I'm never sure if you pronounce those MAN or MAN.
I'm exactly the same, mate. Same thing. I've never known.
Yeah.
I think officially, if you talk to the actual constructive company, they all term it as a MAN.
Oh, okay.
Just say man.
Yeah. I passed. I actually failed my first Class 1 test, which wasn't great because then that cost me an extra 500 quid for the read test. Yes, quite. So I reversed into the barrier on the reversing manoeuvre, and it was the first thing that I did. So, obviously did you dropped the trailer and then reconnect up. Did that all went well. Had to do the reversing manoeuvre, and I'm going back, and I made the mistake of I didn't get out, walk down the back and have a look, which you're allowed to do. Just because they all have that kind of that little thing on the mudguard where you aim for, sort of thing.
That's it. On the edge of the yellow line, if you get that.
Yeah, that's it. If you
stop that, you're about right.
Yeah, if you get that in just inside the box or whatever, you should be about right, sort of thing. So I just went off that. But the problem you have is if you're sharing with another driver, seat levels get adjusted, mirrors get slightly adjusted. It all makes a difference as far as where that thing appears in your mirror. So I should have got out and walked down and had a look, which you're allowed to do. Also, I think people don't take advantage enough of, you can shunt forward on the reverse. You don't have to do it in one, sort of thing. And I mean, I know now as a more experienced driver, if I need to take a shunt, I need to take a shunt. It makes no difference to me whether I do it first time or not, sort of thing. But yeah, so failed that the first time, knocked over the barrier. And obviously I haven't even done the drive at this point. And the examiner said to me, you know, look, sorry, you've failed, sort of thing. And I was like, oh, well, you know, my world just comes.
Got out of the depot yet.
Yeah, but my world comes crashing down, sort of thing. And I said to him, you know, is it really worth carrying on with the test? And to be fair to him, he said to me, well, it's experience for you, mate. You know, you've paid for the test, so it's kind of, obviously you've failed, there's nothing we can do about that, but it is experience for you to go out and do the test, the drive. So we went out and did the drive, and, you know, guttingly, I think I had like 3 or 4 minor faults or something like that, so I would have passed. But then, yeah, I think that's quite a long time ago now, but I think it was like the following week or something, I did it again. This time on the reverse, I stopped, got out, had a look how far back I was from the barrier, sort of thing. You get an idea. Did that and passed. I think that's a good idea, actually, that examiner going for that drive, because if you failed and you didn't go for that drive on the reverse, then all you're aware of is the reverse. Yes. Yeah.
So by doing that drive, you know that actually the driving's fine. It is actually my reverse, that mistake.
Yes.
So it should be good.
Yeah. I mean, this is one of the problems. I'll probably touch upon it here, but we might talk about it more in depth in another episode or whatever. But then finding work as a Class 1 driver, a newly qualified Class 1 driver, it's tough. It really is tough.
That's actually one of the subjects I was going to go into.
I'll just briefly say that, you know, it was agency work for 12 months. And then I kind of got my foot in the door with a transport company who were offering me Class 1, and it kind of went on from there. And that was the night trunking, which I think, you know, it's not the most glamorous of work. And I'm completely honest with you, depending on the state of your relationship with your missus, can be tough, because you're just gone all night, sort of thing. I mean, even more so with guys who are tramping. I've never done that, so I don't know. But, you know, if you head to work on a Monday and you're home on a Friday, it's tough. It's tough to maintain a relationship. Just even so much working the nights, it was tough to maintain a relationship, because come the weekend, you're still on, you know, your body clock's still on nighttime hours anyway, sort of thing. But yeah, I'm sure these are issues that we'll touch upon in future episodes and stuff. But yeah, so that's briefly the background of how I ended up here, thinking I know enough to start our own podcast talking about lorry driving, I guess. But yeah, but to be fair, I've worked with, how long have I worked with you now, Dave? About a year? 18 months or so?
Yeah, something like that.
Yes. Yeah. So, and I know absolutely, I have no clue how long Dave's been driving or what he's been doing. So I would be interested to hear this as well. So yeah, over to you, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, I've only just got my licence. I thought if I'm going to do a podcast, I better actually get a licence.
Yeah. Bit of experience about what you're talking about.
Yeah. Now, something I want to add quickly before I go into that is I do the night trunk. and I was in a certain distribution centre in Wolverhampton. So, and there was a guy there who basically came up to me the other night, and he was actually sweating buckets. He had a problem with the ABS.
Oh no.
And I'm just glad I was able to help him.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He couldn't get it in, and he'd been there for half an hour. He said, "You won't go in. You won't go." And I know it's like you get so stressed, especially at night.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah.
I said, "Oh, I'm going to be here all night. The breakdown's going to have to come out." And
you feel the pressure.
The place where it stopped wasn't great either.
Yeah.
It's so yeah, you just get. And because I didn't have that, because I could just jump on a truck and go. Sorry, mate. Oh.
Yeah. No time to hang about and help, mate.
But yeah, so well, you're obviously being, just trying to force it in for half an hour. So that's obviously not going to work. There's no point in me doing it. So, and being calmer, I had a look at it, and the pins on the ABS and the bottom on the trailer, the male ones, were very loose. Really loose. Okay. And I was able to gently lift it up.
Oh, and just kind of wangle it.
Slide it in.
Yeah.
And it went in. And I said, right, well, he was like, oh, God, it's in. Great. So hang on. Turn it on first. Make sure you haven't got any faults. Because you know what it's like. You don't want to be driving without ABS in the wet at night.
You don't want to be driving. Yeah. No, not at all.
And it started up. So, I just want to say, really good for that. And the guy gave me drinks and all sorts of stuff and bits and pieces. Thank you. He was really over the moon because he could go. He could go.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, well, if you do listen and if you are there, mate, I just hope you got back all right. I'm really glad that I was able to help out and to go back, because I've been in that position and it's horrible.
Well, by rights, he should be the first subscriber then, as a thank you to you.
Yeah. And if I see him, I'm going to say, oi, come in there. You're famous.
Yeah.
We've only 2, potentially 3 subscribers. Anyway, just very briefly going on. I was in the army. I didn't do HGV in the army. I was a grunt.
Because sorry to interrupt, but like a lot of guys will learn the HGV trade in the army, sort of thing. But that wasn't you, no?
No. I came out because I got a medical discharge.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't. It wasn't a proper process thing. I got a medical discharge, smashed up my left leg, got a plastic kneecap and 5 pins in my left leg holding it together.
Oh, nice.
So I was, that's it. In the hospital, I said, well, that's it. You're done. We can't do anything. I was young and stupid at the time. They said, well, we could, change units. You could come out where you are and maybe go into like the catering corps or anything or something like a non-combatant role.
Oh, okay.
Because of the leg.
Oh, okay.
Wouldn't be able to take the pressure.
Yeah.
I was young and I just said, nah, stuff you. Not good enough. Then I'm like, which was a mistake, but hey. Yeah, and that's what people say, I've got no regrets, and that's it. Yeah, I've got regrets because I've actually lived a life.
Yeah.
If you don't live a life, you've got to have regrets.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I came out of that, and God, there is a company name that I'm sure most of you will know, Rumbelows.
Oh wow!
There's the first one driving the van in for Rumbelows. Yeah, wow. I can say that company name because they've gone many years ago.
80s, didn't they? They packed up, I think. Yeah. Wow.
No, it's like that. Yeah, but no, 90 or something.
Yeah, at this point, it becomes clear that you're well older than me because,
and there's this guy friend because I was pretty strong. I'm not now anymore. Riddled with arthritis and stuff now. But there's another guy called Malcolm Mal, and he was a really big guy. Really big, muscles. And me used to walk about carrying washing machines.
Oh wow! Fair play.
And the biggest thing we ever got, we equaled it, was actually in the warehouse. There's 2 washing machines stacked on top of each other.
Okay.
And we actually got the 3rd one up.
Oh man!
On a from the ground.
Yeah.
Right from the ground and up over there. The lorry drivers used to come to the RDC, which is in Reigate. It used to be in Reigate there. And he come in and said, "I never used my tail lift."
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we used just to go, yeah, wash machine, go straight off the tail lift, fridge freezers, yeah, come on, big.
So what was the sort of thing that you were driving there? Was that like a
Oh,
Luton or seven
that
and a half
was
ton?
old Ford Luton.
Oh, okay. So
Like,
it was essentially what a Luton van type
yeah, the
three and a
Luton
half ton
van.
size thing.
Yeah, with way too much weight on there.
Wallowing about.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, that was a good fun. So anyway, so from there, I did all sorts of jobs, all sorts of things. I eventually went, driving, driving 7.5 tonner. Started driving 7.5 tonner, same as you, 7.5 tonner for a company up in Penge,
Oh well, okay.
which is near your sort of home base, original home
My
base.
neck of the woods. Yeah.
Yeah, up there in Penge, and I rented a flat in Sutton. We used to go there, and we used to do exhibition stuff, which is like carpet tiles, furniture for exhibitions. So you
Oh,
used to
okay.
lease, hire, carpet tiles and carpets. We used to do carpet, just quick mat carpets.
Yeah, yeah.
We used to travel about all over the country, and in France as well. We used to do that as well.
Oh, okay.
That was
Okay.
really good. And that's when, because that was, 7.5 ton, but it's a big 7.5 ton.
Oh, okay.
Because it had to take all the furniture
Yeah, yeah.
and everything else. It was big. It was bigger than the most average class twos.
So would this have been running on the old paper tacos?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh God. Yeah. Yeah.
See, I never did that since I've been
Oh,
driving.
didn't you?
It's been digi. No, tell a lie. Early 2000s when I was doing for the lighting company, it was paper tacos. But because it was so far, it was a rare thing for me to drive the 7.5 ton for them. So it wasn't
Yeah.
something I regularly did.
Oh no. Yeah. We did. Yeah. It's all paper tacos
Oh, okay.
and all that sort of stuff all the time. And the needle sometimes didn't work. Yeah.
Did deliberately or just didn't
No,
work?
I don't know, mate. I'm not a
Yeah.
mechanic.
No, I
I'm
just
not an idiot.
I, I
It
hear
was
all
working and then it stopped.
I hear all kinds of shady stories from the older drivers about what was it they call it, running dirty, as far as with the tacos and with the paper
Yeah.
tacos and stuff. Yeah, we probably
Yeah.
should. Yeah, let's not.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that's a story for another podcast.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Or maybe. So, and yeah, just to catch up. So basically, I had all those sorts of jobs, working all sorts of things all over the place. Going to HGV and going on what you said about really difficult getting. My test. I'll tell you about my test, because you mentioned your
Oh,
test.
okay, yeah.
I passed first time.
All right, no need to rub it in, is there? Do you know what
And
I
I
mean?
got 2 minors. That's all we got. Got 2 minors.
So did
But there is
you?
a reason for that, which I won't go in the podcast. I'll tell
Okay,
you separately after that.
okay.
Yeah.
So I'm like so. Oh, what? I forgot what I was going to ask you then. Yeah, so like I'm young enough that okay, how can I put it? So I'm assuming you had 7.5 ton grandfather rights as far as
Yeah.
on your license. See, I was just scraped under the wire as far as that goes. My missus, who's a couple of years younger than me, didn't get that automatic entitlement, and I don't think it comes as standard anymore.
No,
Sort of thing.
it's all stopped.
Yeah, because you used to be able to drive up to 7.5 ton without an extra test, didn't you? Sort of thing. So did you go straight for a class one license, or did you have to go through the class two?
No, you have to go. Still have to go to 2.
But it would have
Yeah.
been well, we say class two because it's C,
Yeah. It's
class
not now,
C,
is it?
C1, and C plus E,
Yeah.
isn't it? Sort of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I literally did that, which was a breeze.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, but like you saying the buses, and I was driving a big 7.5 tons. It's just, you're a little bit longer. The steering's a little bit different.
Yeah.
And the idea with 7.5 ton is really the weight. I feel it's a weight that you're carrying, so
Yes.
that's been
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you never have that on the test.
No, that's true. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just getting used to the vehicle really, and that was it.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
And the class one is how can I put this? Yeah, class one was actually quite straightforward because I already had experience
Oh, okay.
working with the company, and obviously not on the road, but working in the yard, I used to shut them about anyway.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And I got quite used to it. It's quite a tight yard, so I got quite used to it. I was quite confident. I think that's what it. I think that's why I just did it. I mean, that's why it's easy for me, because I can imagine someone coming from class 2 or was into class 1, and what was different.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember actually working for this guy. There's this company I was working with, and we used to go out together as a pair. And he actually just had his car license, and he wanted to go through the whole thing. So, and I was encouraging him, to do it. And we got to the yard. I was helping him out when he was doing the class 2 and all that sort of thing. And I just said to him, when you get to class 1, it is a completely different way of driving.
Yes. Yeah.
And I said your awareness and everything else has got to be changed. And he said to me, I just said, shut up, you're just bigging yourself up. So okay, don't worry. And then he went off to get his class 1. He messaged me back when he started doing the lessons for the class 1. I said, no, you're right. It is different. I said, yeah, you can't. You're aware. Anyway, so I done a little bike story. So I had the same problem with you, trying to get work. I went off to a supermarket company who will take on new drivers.
Oh, okay.
And they do help you out. And it's actually a really good place to start, because it was stuff like when you were going to stores, they would have a whole risk assessment paperwork there. So this is how you're supposed to go, and this is where you wait.
Oh, okay.
This is a route to get there.
Yes.
So it was a really good way to come in, because you've had that bit of paper saying, this is how you do it.
Go this way, and you're not going to get stuck at bridges or width restrictions and stuff like that. Yeah.
There's your keys, go up the burning room.
Yes. We've all been there.
Yeah, and I do actually remember again, and it was a night shift or evening shift sort of thing, and it was dark, and I was going down because where it was, I supposed to go down the A3, come along the M4, A33, down the A33 onto the M3, and down that way, and it was like the A33 is. I don't know if you know, I'm sure most of you drivers out there who are running around on the M4 and that know the A33 and know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't know if you've been down there.
No, not been down there.
It's like the A23 but single lanes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's a busy road.
Yeah.
And I was driving, I said, go down the A33 and all that. I was like, first time ever out on your own, which is scary.
Mm-hmm.
The instructor guys, it's mega scary.
Terrifying.
Just getting out the yard was big enough. And the first roundabout, basically the first roundabout I came to on my own is the M4 roundabout. It's like 6, 7, 8 lanes.
Oh God, yeah.
And there's other ways off and everything. It's like, I still think my hands are hurt from that night.
White knuckling on the steering wheel.
Exactly. Where do I go? And so I was going down the M3. M4. So you go down the A33. I was like, no, bugger that. So I went up to the M25 and down onto the M3 and down that way. So
oh wow!
I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm a new driver. I don't care what you say. You can play out with me. I don't feel I'm that confident the first time out. So no, I'm going M4, M25, M3.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
And I was going down the M3, and there's a lorry in front of me going really, really slow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and like, do I overtake?
Yeah.
Slow down behind him. Like, this is really slow, though. I need to overtake. I'm like, oh crap. Okay. Go on. Never ever overtaking, something that big.
Yeah.
But it was, and it wasn't so much the overtaking, it's knowing how far before you can pull in.
Yes.
And looking in that mirror.
Yes.
And keeping your wheel straight, and it's just all sweating. And anyway, so I did it, and that was fine. And then I got to the first depot, first store. It's only a blindside reverse.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, excellent.
And it was dark.
Oh,
And there's all these cages and skips and everything else in there. And I actually got in. I took 3 shunts and I got in.
okay.
And I thought it was
That's not too
actually
bad.
quite
Yeah.
tough for that.
Yeah.
And so I got it. So yeah, and it's good, like you from then on. Because I got waffle on all day. I was. You just got other contracts. So I went because I was contractor there. I ended up as a contractor there. So and when the work died there, sometimes I went off and did contracts for other people all over the place.
Okay.
All up and down the country, all over the place. Going back on that thing about tramping, what you said about tramping, you've got to be really comfortable in your own skin. You do spend a lot of time on your own.
I can 100% believe that. I
In
can
a little
100%.
cab.
Yes.
But for me, I don't mind.
No, fair enough.
I'm actually really quite happy. So that is it.
Okay. Well,
Really.
I think with the introductions over, we will take a short break and we will be back with you in a minute. Hello, we're back, and we've got some thoughts and information on the coming of the electric vehicles and what it might mean for the future of HGV driving. Really, I suppose we're going to look at it more in depth. I think if not the next episode, then certainly an upcoming episode. But just to give us a brief outline and some quick background to it. I know Dave's been looking up some information. So, yeah, if you'd like to share that with everyone, Dave.
Yeah, I just very quickly said, we're going to launch this out today. We're going to have a quick chat about our opinions, and we want you to put your opinion over how you feel about it. And, have you got any experience? Have any of you actually driven electric trucks? If you have, let us know. We'd be really interested in hearing. So, basically, what the government have put out is we're going to switch cars in the UK. No, that's not the one. Sorry, because shift electric trucks is only just signed. By 2050, the use of diesel trucks must end in the UK.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So is that, sorry, the button, is that the use, so no company's using them, or is that selling of diesel trucks?
That's the next bit. The UK government has set 2035 as a date for phasing out sales of all new non-zero emission trucks.
Wow.
Up to 26 tonne. And by 2040, everything over 26 tonne.
Needs to be electric if it's going to be sold.
It had to be sold, yes. And 2035, which isn't that far away.
No, the years start flying past once you get past 25, don't they?
Yeah. So it's saying 2050, no diesel trucks. No one can use diesel trucks in the UK.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So that's their target for zero, net zero climate goal for 2050.
Oh, okay.
So by 2035, there'll be no class 2s, but essentially no class 2s up to 26 tonne. Or 7.5 tonnes.
Diesel operated.
Yeah.
26. Okay.
Which, still you're not able to sell. We're not able to buy any new ones.
Okay. So
that's a huge market.
It is, but I mean, I imagine the way that they've phrased it, it would mean that, if it gets to 2035 and you've got a fleet of a dozen class 2 diesels, you don't have to get rid of them then. You just you work them till they come to the end of their natural life, and then what you would replace them with would be diesel, electric, I'm assuming.
Yeah, you're going to have to, because if there's 35, so what's that? It's 11 years away.
Yeah.
If you're forking out for a class 2, you're not going to buy a diesel one now, are you?
Well, no, but I mean,
it's 11 years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if there's any viable electric trucks on the market, to be fair. I mean, this is something we can look into kind of for a more in-depth episode.
Yeah.
But I mean, I certainly see sort of Sprinter van type size they're electric. I've seen a few electric kind of postal Royal Mail vans knocking about, but I don't know. I've seen.
Retail companies, home delivery, a couple of them are electric. I've seen a couple of them
Okay,
electric. Yeah.
I don't know that I've seen anything beyond about a 3.5 ton vehicle, fully electric though, fully electric.
No.
Yeah, no, I mean, we'll definitely have to do some research to see if there is actually.
I've done a lot of research, and and I'm really looking forward to hearing other people's views, because I don't want to just sit here and just
Yeah, fair
don't
enough.
I just give you that's a stat, that's what the
Okay.
government's aiming at. So what's your opinion? What's your thought? And, for me, the biggest thing is all these companies, haulage companies, and the infrastructure that's got to be in place for this to work. I mean, if you're looking at 26 ton, essentially class twos, rigid vehicles, then most of them are local. There's not that. Some people do tramping and that in class twos. That sort of thing. I do. I'm not dismissing them, but I'm saying the majority of them are locals, so they go back to the depot. I can see them getting charged overnight. But still a heck of a lot of finance that the company's got to fork out to get that infrastructure in. Recharge it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're going to have to potentially have a charging point for each of the vehicles in your fleet. And the infrastructure.
Don't forget how much electric they use. I mean, you're talking about, you can't have it at home. It's not like a home one, because that only use a car averages 22 kilowatts of electric it needs to charge a car.
Okay.
An HGV needs 150 kilowatts.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. That's 7 times more electric. That's a lot.
Yes.
That's really a lot.
I mean, an interesting, just something that occurred to me, obviously, like haulage firms, they will claim the VAT back on their diesel. So is there going to be a certain, or maybe not VAT, but they certainly get to claim against that expense for fuel when they come to pay the taxes? Are they going to get a similar kind of situation with, electricity? Are they going to get a certain amount off? Because if they're just paying the same amount you and I would for charging our EV car at home, it's going to be financially difficult for them, I would have thought.
There's a huge debate to have. There's lots of things to be resolved, I think, around this. But there is an expenses. Obviously, you do get a tax allowance on the diesel if you're a commercial outfit. So therefore, maybe it should be the same for electric. How much that's going to be, if at all, has still yet to be decided. Unless anyone knows out there, if you know you really got into this, you are a haulage company, get in contact. Let us know. We're really happy to do it. But and all right, so class ones basically by 2050, and so they can still run to get diesel. I mean, but there's all sorts of things. Can they do haulage? Can they do tramping? Is there infrastructure at the services? If you're out all week, I know there's one I've seen. The one I've been into is Offshore Services, M40. I've seen it, and there is a section there for electric trucks.
Okay.
But it's only about a dozen.
There's
like 60 trucks in it. There's only a dozen spaces for electric. And usually, if they can't get parked up overnight in a normal bay, they can park up in the electric one, which is going to happen. So Sam actually did have an electric one to charge. They can't get into it because a normal diesel truck has got to park up for the night. It's the only space left, and he's parked in there.
Okay. Yeah.
What am I going to do?
Yeah.
Have I got a breakdown if I'm broken down?
Well, yeah. I mean, but like you say, it's 11 years away. So, but there again, you want to see the infrastructure starting to be put in place if that's the way they want to head.
There has been, the government have put on 200 for trial. There's 200 sites up and down the country for it.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. All I'm saying, because of my age, it's not going to happen in my life.
No, it would. To be fair, it
My
would.
driving life, anyway.
Yeah, it would be knocking on the end of my career as far as 2050 goes. Yeah, so it's maybe not something. I mean, I wonder whether hybrid is a way to go. So just before I left the buses, they'd introduced a few. I think they were Volvos, and they were hybrid. So they would work on battery up until about 20 miles an hour, and then the diesel engine would kick in. And with the diesel engine running, it would also recharge the batteries. And I mean, it works to an extent because obviously the buses I was driving in South London, you'll continually start, stop sort of thing. But I wasn't there. But I mean, they introduced them, and I'd left 6 months later, so I never got to work with them extensively. The one thing I do remember was that in the mornings, because there was no diesel engine running, it used to blow cold air on you, and I just the heaters in buses are terrible anyway, and that was just a deal breaker for me. So what's going on? I'm
blame you.
freezing.
Well, it's like you look at a tramper, you can use night heater.
Yeah, because that burns diesel, doesn't it, when it ticks over? Yeah.
That's so. I mean, let alone does electric. To my mind, it doesn't. But I'm an old fart. I understand that. I know that electric will not haul those weights about up and down the country.
No.
I just can't see it. Not effectively. I think that the margin for error for running out of electric is too slim. Not having enough electric.
Yeah.
If I don't have a night heater, I'm not sitting outside the depot. Sometimes the depots we go to, you sit out there for 3-4 hours. There's 6 hours I've been one night.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting out there in the middle of flipping winter for 6 hours without electric heater because I can't get back home. I ain't got the night heater on.
I suppose there would be some older drivers now in the comments saying night heaters is a luxury we never used to have, sort of thing. You know, we would just
I remember that as well.
Sit there under
That's
a blanket.
why I enjoy it.
Yes, yeah.
Now, I've experienced it without it, and I don't care what you say. I'm happy that there is night heaters now.
Oh, yeah. No, 100%.
Yeah. But yeah, it's an absolutely huge subject, and where we're going to be. I mean, I doubt very much I'm going to be driving it because it says 2050 has to be net. So you're saying about hybrid with the buses and that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. The net zero emissions, so probably hybrid won't work because if you are using diesel, that's going to be emissions, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, it will be. Yeah, no amount of AdBlue is going to reduce those particulates out of the diesel. I struggle with it from the points you've raised as far as infrastructure at truck stops. I mean, they're already in a pretty sorry state of affairs anyway. Can you imagine, you're going to have, I don't know, what, 400-500 separate charging points in a truck rest area? It's just, what company is going to invest in that? How is it? Yeah, it just seems, I don't know. It seems unfeasible, to be honest with you. I mean, because at that point, like you're saying about, are you going to run out of charge? I know it's not ideal, but sometimes you'll have to park up in a lay-by because you can't get into the designated truck stop, sort of thing. And you can guarantee there's going to be plenty of empty plastic bottles filled with questionable liquids in the lay-by, but there's not going to be any charging points. It's just the way of it, sort of thing. I have seen a video where they had pantographs, kind of like they do on the trains, where the overhead power lines.
Yeah.
I think this was in Germany, and it was just a test sort of stretch of autobahn. I think it was in Germany anyway. But they had the pantograph and they had the lorries. It was all done on a near side lane, and they would raise up their pantograph and they would charge their batteries as they were driving down. But again, that's a huge investment in infrastructure that would need to be paid for. And who knows? Who knows whether this stuff would actually happen? Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know whether it's feasible. I don't know, the kind of whether it's even feasible for something running on an electric motor to be able to pull up to 26 26 tons of freight, let alone the actual weight of the vehicle. I mean, this would be another thing as well, is that the batteries are incredibly heavy from what I understand. So, we're limited to being 44 tons gross weight. So that's vehicle and the weight of your freight. If the vehicle itself is 34 tons because the batteries are so heavy, that means you're going to be able to carry even less freight, so it becomes less economical. And I mean, there's it feels like there's so many unanswered questions as far as this sort of stuff goes.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a biggie for me. That's a biggie. Can you imagine go up some of that So Prince Risborough.
Oh, okay.
Prince Risborough Hill.
Yes. Yeah.
You imagine going out on electric batteries, and you're carrying 40 odd ton.
Well, I mean, are you even going to be able to pull that amount of weight?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And again, because I'm sure you can work it out, and there's people out there, I'm sure they'll work it out, and in time it will all settle down. But you fill up a diesel engine, you know how far you're going to go.
Yes.
You know what sort of hills you're going over, and it's going to, sometimes Prince Risborough, I'm down to like 30 miles an hour trying to get up there.
Oh, do you mean up by, or is it Stokenchurch on the M40?
Yeah, Stokenchurch, Hampstead, that sort of bit, that hill.
Yeah.
And you go up there, and it's, that's a big one. And you go up up towards Scotland, and there's even bigger ones.
Well, yeah.
And I don't know. So, I'm using, as far as diesel, yes, I'm going to use more diesel, but not to the extent that it's going to cripple me later on.
Yeah.
By going up these hills.
Yeah.
But what effect will that have on the electric battery if you're trying to drag 40 odd ton up a steep hill? Surely that's going to use more electric from the battery than a diesel engine.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So, and it's going to be so quiet. I'm the same like Jeremy Clarkson now. I like to put the foot down and hear that. I've got some power, I've got some muscle here. Got 500. I haven't yet driven the Scania V8, which I want to do before I retire.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I'll just have that grunt. And you won't have that.
Yes. I know what you mean. I do know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. And it just, because, I don't know, I guess I'm sure they're the same. That, you put that foot on the accelerator, you get that grunt, and you've got some power there.
Yes. Yeah.
You haven't got that with electric.
I mean, I suppose that's a thing of, as drivers coming into it, if they've never had that kind of thing, then they don't, they're not going to miss it. And equally, I imagine, that the trucks back in the day made an awful lot of noise, and drivers are happy that they're not quite so noisy and stuff now, because just for being able to hear the radio over it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I used to drive. There's some of you might not remember if you're a certain generation. I used to drive old Bedford, TK Bedford.
No.
I mean, power steering is such a wonderful thing. It really is, because this didn't have any. And you literally like that.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Going around corner, and I picked it up from Croydon, from South Croydon.
Oh, okay.
So I'm driving around South Croydon, grunting, and the heater was a flap.
Oh wow! Okay, well done.
So you use a flap, was down there, right down on the left, and you use your toe.
Oh really?
To open the flap.
Okay.
That was a heater with all the engine emissions and everything else all coming up.
Oh yeah, just carbon monoxide into the cab, but it's warm, so who minds?
And I actually caught hypothermia.
Oh wow!
I was in hospital for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's less than ideal. Less than ideal.
So, especially when you can't find a flap with your left foot as you're driving along to try and shut it because it stinks. But I mean, and that That's what. That's only what. So it's about 40 years ago. And so where we are now in 40 years, actually relatively short space of time,
Yeah, yeah,
isn't it? Really, for how how far we've gone.
yeah.
And I say, I'll be gone. I'll be gone and retired before this really kicks in and affects. But I think for the newer people, hopefully listen to his podcast. I don't want it to end up like just reading about old stories. With coding stuff. It's obviously a really important issue, especially
Yes.
for new drivers coming in. So,
Well, I mean, this is
and
something.
also just a little hook, driverless vehicles.
Well, I mean, yeah, we'll have to do an in-depth
Yeah,
episode
we do that
just
as well.
on that. Just on that topic in itself, I think, because there's so many issues as far as that stuff goes.
So I think, in a nutshell, what we're looking at is electric is coming. That's
Yes.
it.
Yes.
There's no doubt. So the big question marks I feel from what we've discussed is basically looking at infrastructure.
Yep.
Is
Infrastructure.
the infrastructure going to be there?
Yep.
And is it? And it's got to be more than just a computer paper exercise.
Yeah.
The government really has to look into how they're structuring services.
Mm-hmm.
And is there any sort of financial help for companies to implement infrastructure within their own businesses as well? I thought that there's so much to look at. Let us know. See, what's your opinion?
Any thoughts and opinions? Please feel free to add to the comments. We're all about engagement, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Absolutely. Another little thing I would like to put in, just quickly, not about trucks, moving on, is truck stops. All right? I know a lot of drivers never ever actually been into a truck stop. It's all just been services because it's easier.
Yes.
Basically, it's easier. How many people had 15-minute breaks on the petrol pump? Diesel pump. Anyway, I'm not going to kick that one off. So, but if you are a regular to any truck stop up and down the country, around about the country, and you think it's brilliant and you always want to go there, let us know. And if we can get a cut-off, we can get out, we can share out to people, everything else. Let us know if there are some really great ones. Because I know there are some good ones. And
Most certainly.
are not good. So we put it that way.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
So that's about it from me.
I think that's about it from me as well. So that was the first episode of the Tacho Break podcast. As we were saying, we'd love to hear from all of you, comments, suggestions. What we're aiming to do, I think, is look at issues involved with the industry of haulage and lorry drivers. Obviously, we're both just drivers, so we have our own biases and our own opinions on stuff. But we would love to hear, comments, suggestions, things that you would like to see us cover. And just get involved would be great. We're aiming to release this as a YouTube video, looking to do live streams going forward some point in the future, and we're also going to be releasing it as a podcast, so you can listen to it on the move. You don't have to look at our ugly mugs week in, week out. So thank you for joining us, and we hope you will tune in again, and we really look forward to hearing from you. That's bye from me, and I'll leave you to Dave.
Yeah, that's it. Excellent. Be safe. Enjoy it. Really be safe.
Yeah.
Especially out there on these roads with the winter coming. Look after yourself. Look after each other as well. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye for now.
See you next time.